Hi Pete, today we're going to be reading MOR number 6, which is titled Static Line Jumping. The first time I ever got on a plane was when I was 19 years old. I ended up jumping out. I thought it would be my first and last time. A couple years later, I found myself in the Army in a static line parachuting course. At that time, it was funny to realize that I would exit most planes before they even landed. Static line jumping is different from skydiving for several reasons. In a static line jump, the jumper wears a parachute with a cord that runs off of the back of the parachute. The end of the cord has a clip that attaches to the anchor line cable in the aircraft. In skydiving, the jumper activates his or her own parachute. In static line jumping, the parachute opens itself as the cord extends and pulls on the top of the parachute. The typical altitude in a static line jump is much lower than a skydive jump. The lowest altitude I ever jumped was 600 feet, and the highest altitude was 1,200 feet. The logic behind this was established in World War II. Commanders understood the importance of getting to the ground as fast as possible, especially since these jumps were occurring in war zones. The more time you were in the open air, the more you looked like a sitting or floating duck. Military men and women are expected to jump with equipment. This equipment minimally includes a rucksack, helmet, and rifle. The rucksack itself will carry essential items such as a radio, map, food, and sleeping bag, to name a few. The pounds certainly do add up. I was typically carrying an extra 70 pounds of equipment. The rucksack is rigged by a cord that sits between the jumper's legs. The rifle sits on the side of the jumper and is also rigged by a cord. When the jumper has exited the plane and is within 50 to 100 feet from the ground, the rucksack and rifle are lowered by pulling on a cord. I spent my 21st birthday exiting a plane by myself. It ended with a bloody nose. When preparing to jump, we were instructed to tighten the chin strap of the helmet. I failed to do that. When I landed, the front of the helmet slammed forward and smacked my nose. I was just happy to be able to walk away. My roommate experienced a much worse injury. On his way down from the sky, another jumper got under him in his parachute. When this happens, the individual steals the air from the person above and causes the parachute to collapse. My roommate's parachute collapsed about 30 feet from the ground. He had to leave the drop zone by ambulance. He is lucky that he is still able to walk. I may have over 25 jumps under my belt, but it doesn't make me any less scared of heights. I prayed every single time. The parachutes we used were first used in World War II. There are no toggles to steer the direction of travel. We jumped out hoping that the wind wouldn't take us from the open terrain to the tree line. There were plenty of us who landed in a tree or two. In such an instance, we are asked to sit and wait for the ladder to arrive. Some of us opted to pull the reserve parachute and use the lining to climb down from the tree. Since the lining wasn't the easiest fabric to grip, we were prone to rope burn. Needless to say, I am much happier in school. The target words for this week's MOR are different, 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 different. Line, line, line. Aircraft, aircraft, aircraft. Activates, 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 activates. 21st, 21st, 21st. Ended, 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 ended. chin, chin, chin. Happens, happens, happens. Above, above, above. Steals, steals, steals. That's all for this week. We'll see you on Thursday.